Hello, good afternoon. In this opportunity, we talk about beef cattle. The beef cattle is a topic more important in all the world and in Zamorano. More students have a farms of big cattle and we use this information for your farms. Um,
Well, we consider that the expert that we our interview is the engineer Juan Espinosa. The engineer Juan Espinosa have have more experience about the beef cattle. Um, Good afternoon, engineer. Can you can you talk about the beef, your experience, the beef cattle, please?
Okay. Uh, Thanks for the opportunity. I'm glad that this chose me for the interview. Um, I'm um I have been always like in contact with cattle and all that. I have a little bit experience and I can share it to you. Uh, so, what questions do you have?
okay.
Good afternoon, engineer. Welcome, and thanks for you are open for that interview. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about the production of beef cattle. The first question that we need to know is what crop of grass are indicate for bedding of cattle.
Okay, so thanks for the opportunity again. Um, I'm glad that you're here. For that question, we have been using many crops since years, and we have proven that some of them are better than other ones depending on the climate, depending on the soil, depending on the purpose of the cattle, because we have beef cattle, we have dairy farms, so that depends. But in each scenario, we have proven that, for example, corn, sorghum, soy have shown the best results, and for example, percentage of energy, percentage protein, minerals, vitamins. So those are the crops that I will use in my farm. And with grass, we have make also many trials, and for example, caiman, it's a good species. Also, sinolong is another good species for cattle.
Thanks, engineer. What of all that of type of grass that you mentioned, it's have more proteins.
Okay.
You mentioned corn, soil, sorghum. What of all that type of grass have more protein?
Okay, so the percentage of protein, it's really important because that's what you need for making your diet and increase your production. But the percentage of protein, it depends on the species that we have. It depends on if the grass or crop is fertilized. It depends on if it has irrigation system, and also depends on the days that it has after the last shop, or after the last time that the cattle went in those fields to consume that grass. So the percent of protein is not something that's always the same. It depends on many factors.
Okay. And what system for 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 use irrigate need to use in this type of production.
Okay, so people think that drip irrigation is like the best system, but in this case, when we are working with cattle and we are working with grass, um, sprinklers makes a better job because they irrigate 100% of the area. So I will go with, for example, pivots or sprinklers at the moment of choosing an irrigation system.
And what aspect do we need for consider to draining for sweeper system in fields?
Okay, so some species are like sensitive to humidity and soil, so we need to make we need that water or humidity to drain. So we need to consider, for example, area that we have with that grass or crop. We need to consider how sensitive is the crop, and we need to consider also our for example, if we have machinery or if we are going to do it with people, so that depends. And usually we use drainage from, for example, 1 meter to 1.5 meters to get rid of those of that water in the soil.
And how can I calculate the water that the grass need? How can I know how much water I need to irrigate?
Okay, so for each type of grass, for each type of crop, there's a coefficient that we use, and it's something that's already given. Then with that coefficient, you need to multiply it by the quantity of water that evaporates during the day. So with those two things, you can calculate what is the need for irrigation in the next day. Okay, so that's we measure it in millimeters. So that's the parameter that we use. That's the measure that we use. So it depends on the climate and on the crop or grass that you have in the field.
In the field. So, engineer, can you tell us for, I don't know, one experience in your work here in Zamorano? How can you work in this area for that production?
So now we're having many projects that are coming, and one of those it's in Monterredondo. That's an area of beef cattle that they have there, and they want to irrigate approximately like more than 50 hectares of grass. So now we are working on that system with a pivot that is going to irrigate all of those like 54 hectares of only grass. That's the purpose is for cattle. Okay.
And what type of grass do you have there in the Monterredondo?
Okay, we have Sinodon influences, and we have also Caiman. So those are the main grasses that beef cattle uses. So that's the one that we have there. Okay.
Now, thank you very much, engineer, for your help and for your time. Very, very much. We are very grateful for your help.
Okay. I hope that this information will be useful for you. And anytime that you need any help, I will be here for you. Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay.